Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if you do, be part of this journey by hitting that subscription button in red right below and the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. If you find that my videos are too fast for you, right up top there's three little buttons. You click there and you can slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also right next to it there's the closed caption. You can turn it on. Everything I will be calling out the stitch will be written down here. You can pause the video and take notes. I also want to thank every single one of you for your support and all your beautiful comments. Thank you so much. I am so grateful. And also I would like to ask of you to help donate to the women in need. I have a PayPal account that I created especially to have donations come in to buy thread and yarn for the women that need desperately. So anything helps. Please be generous about it and help out. If you have extra yarn or thread and you'd like to send it out yourself, in the description box there's my Facebook page. There's my Facebook group, which I've created. You're welcome to join as long as you have a profile on your Facebook. Then you can be part of my Facebook group of crochet also. I have my Instagram, TikTok, and my email. So you have so many options to get a hold of me. If you want to send it out, I'll send it to you privately, their address, and you can mail it to them yourselves. Thank you so much, everybody. So today I've created this blouse, which I'm going to show you the stitch. The blouse itself is similar, the build-up, I should say, to many others, a few others that I had created. It's only one big piece, the measurement of your waist or your hip from the back over your shoulder and into the front. The size that you would like. That, depending upon the size, that's the amount of chain stitch that you're going to do for the length of your blouse. Now for the wideness, all you have to do is measure from the side of your, let's say, underneath armpits, let's say, to the middle of your chest and see how many you need of centimeters by there. And you'd have to have two built the same way. So it's two piece, same size, back and front together. We just fold it up top and it becomes a nice blouse. And I've already done my little patching here for, this is V-neck, front and back. So I've had my marks here. I've already closed the back part, stitched. But as you can see, when you look through the right side, it's just perfect. Here, of course, it leaves a little mark, but that's in the inside, like any other shirt we buy. I also have closed a sleeve up. And you need to measure from your shoulder to the underarm pit to see how much of closing you need to do. This is perfect to create any size you want. 1X, 2X, 3X, and so on. So this is the side, of course. Once it's pressed, it becomes really nice and straight. I still have to finish the edge. And this is the inside of the side stitch. So I have one side stitched up underneath the arms and on the side. And this one, we're going to do it together to close it here and to close it on the side. So I have my measurement, which is 18 centimeters for me, but each person, their arms are wider, larger, so you have to go with your arm and to see if you need to bring it down more or not. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do the stitch. Very simple, very easy to create. And then we're going to close the front area, and then I'll be adding a little bit at the edge here to give me a little bit more length, and we're going to stitch the side to close it up, and the blouse will be done. So easy as that. Let's get started, everybody. Just want to mention this is 100% cotton thread, 4-ply, hook number 3, pair of scissors, and a little hook to tuck in loose ends. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the sample because obviously mine is already all built up. So I'll just use any color for that matter, just to show you how the stitch is. Okay. Okay, everyone, before you even start your stitch, if you're doing a full medium to a 1X, or X large, I should say, not 1X, X large. I finished my blouse, and you'll see the pictures at the end. I came back to record this a little bit before you get started. So I had done 300 chain stitch for my blouse, but it shrinks, like I mentioned up ahead on the video. It shrinks once you start doing all those stitches, so it becomes way smaller. For best results, I suggest strongly to do like 320 chain stitch, and then when you're about to do your second row, then go up chain 3 again, and then follow the procedures like I'm showing you on the video. Or it's going to be like a little bit upper from your waist, like almost to your belly. So you don't want that, because then you're going to have a hard time doing, not a hard time, but a long time doing the adjusting the around the waist stitches to get that length. So you might as well get it done, and then you can do a few like I show you at the end of the video. So I just wanted to come back and mention that before we proceed with the stitching. Okay, so best results 320 chain stitch instead of 300, because I had to add at the end quite a few rows for the length on the pattern, because it does shrink due to all of the stitching that we do. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, everyone, so the first thing you want to do is you want to make your chain stitch. So slip stitch knot, that doesn't count. Now, on my blouse, because once you start creating it as you go with the stitches, it tends, because so many stitch on there, it tends to shrink a bit. Normally for me, depending upon the stitch, if it's a looser stitch here and there, you know, like double crochets in spaces or V's, usually I do 280 and I'm fine with it. With this one, it's 300. This is a medium to a large, full medium, because there's a lot of stitching in there. It's almost like the seashell, but not the seashell, put it that way. So it tends to shrink. So you have to be careful on that. So I have 300. I'm not going to do 300. I'm just doing an example, because this is the same stitch all the way through front to the back. So you would do, so I'll do, let's say you're doing your 300. So I'm just going to make a chain stitch here, just of a few, just to get you going. So let's say you've done your 300 or 280 or 260 or 240. It depends upon your size. You'll see as you measure yourself how many centimeters you need, so you go with it. Remember that you have to add a few extra more, because it shrinks, right? So let's say you are 100 centimeters. So you would need to at least add another, let's say 20 chain stitch, because it's going to pull, it's going to shrink. So you would do, after you do your 300, you do 3 more, and you'd come back on your 4th space, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So coming back on the 4th space, you do your double crochet. So this chain that we did, the extra 3, it's like a double crochet in the same space. We're going to do another double crochet. So now we have 3. Chain 1 in the same space, another double crochet. So it's almost like a seashell, a seashell without being a seashell. Okay, so now we're going to skip 3 space and go into the 4th. 1, 2, 3. On your 4th space, we're going to create the same thing. 3 double crochets, and make sure you grab both threads as you're coming in here, because if you pull only one, it's going to leave a hole. So 1 chain separation and 1 more double crochet, and again 1, 2, 3 on the 4th space. Create the same thing again, 3 double crochets, 1 chain, and 1 more double crochet. So it's going to end up being like this. I'm going to continue until the edge here, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so just lower a little bit of the lighting here. We don't want it to be whitened out. So it's going to look like that. So you do how many, whatever you need to do. Okay, so you would turn around, 1, 2, for some of you, chain 3. Where we have that 1 chain separation, we're going to work 2 more double crochet. So we're creating the same group. One chain separation, and again another double crochet. Coming into the next space, which is this one here, where we have the 1 chain separation, and create again your group of 3 double crochet, 1 chain, and on the same space another double crochet. So simple. Into the next space where we have the 1 chain separation, and again, so you're just reversing the groups in this one space of the double crochet. So 3 double crochet, 1 chain, and 1 double crochet. So on the first row, it's faced on the right side. On this row, again, they're going to be faced on the right side, but your 1 is on the other side. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. You should, by me showing you. 2, 3, 1 chain, and again. And the last space here, 1, 2, 3, 1 chain, and back in. Now the difference is we're going to do 1 more double crochet right at the edge on the last double crochet here, so we can have a straight line going up. We don't want spaces in between the motifs, so we're going to have this straight line going up, and you're going to continue to do this straight line. So 1, 2 chain for me, 3 for some of you. So now you're going to come back into the space here again and create your group. So that's the only difference that we're going to do from here on, is always adding a double crochet at the edge, 1 chain separation, and back into the same space with that 1 double crochet. Into the next space, we're going to create the same thing, 3 double crochets. Nothing changes. The only thing that changes is just adding that 1 double crochet on the edge here and on the edge here. 3 double crochet, 1 chain separation, and 1 double crochet into the next space where we have that 1 chain. So we're always working inside of the 1 chain, row after row. So basically you're always working up and down, front to back, okay, until the desired wideness, because we're working wideness. The length is already on the chain that you've created from the beginning. So 3 double crochet, 1 chain, and 1 double crochet. And then to the last one here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to create the 3 double crochets, the 1 chain separation, and 1 more double crochet inside. Now we're going to do exactly like we did at the beginning, that 1 double crochet at the edge. So we're going to come right into the edge here and create that 1 double crochet. Then you turn around and you continue to proceed the same way. Chain 2 for me, for some of you, chain 3 if your chain is too tight. And then go back into the space and create your groups again. 3 double crochet, 1 chain, and 1 more double crochet. And it's always like this until the end. of the desired width that you need for the size that you need. Because remembering that we are, when we did the chain stitch, that's the length already that you need. This is working back and forth, front to the back, back to the front, front to the back, until the size exactly from under, you know, your side hips to the stomach area to the middle. So I hope that this was simple enough for you. So now that's all you have to do, nothing more to it. Don't forget, you always have to have one double crochet at the beginning and one at the end. Always back and forth and working inside of the space of the one chain separation. I'm going to show you now how we are going to add this on. So very simple. Okay. Okay, so here is my blouse. Like I said, I've already put a little thing. This is my underarm, so I know I have to stop stitching until here my side. How do we know what's front and back? Because when you first started your chain stitch, you know that you have the back side and the right side, so you need to add them together, right? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to sew back with back. So you're going to turn it. We don't want to have marks up front, right? So you're going to turn back with back. You're going to line it up. Of course, you can see very well that you have your, we're going to call seashells, even though they're not seashells. Just so you can understand, we're going to line them up together, seashell with seashell, to make sure that we got everything in order. And this is going to go all the way. I guess my thing came out of the other place, but anyway, I'll fix it and tie it back in. So we're going to stitch it all the way to here and leave the sleeve out. Okay. Now when you're putting your thread on your hook, you want to make sure you have enough thread to start stitching, because you don't want to like make knots and, you know, have more thread added on there. So you'd start right here in the corner and you would just pull through a bit. Now make a knot, or two knots I should say, to make sure that it's going to stick in properly, like it's not going to go anywhere. And then we'll tuck in the leftover thread from here. So this is very simple. So what you want to do is, you could either take only the back loops with back loop. It's going to leave you a little edge up front. Normally I do that on my other blouses. I've done that, but this time I'm going to do the front loop with front loop. So I went this way. Now I'm going to grab this front loop here with the front loop here, and I'm coming back this way. So this is very simple, nothing to it at all. Remembering that you're lining up your seashells so they can, the blouse can look properly in place. So basically you would just go back and forth in it. I'll show you in a second what it looks like in the inside once I do a few here so you can understand what I'm doing. Okay, so very simple. I'm going to take from the inside and the inside. So back and forth until your so the whole side until your sleeve part, and then you just, you know, do a few stitches, tie a few knots, and you're done. So this is what it is for this, and it will be the same thing on the front. So you have to put your thread to the size you would like your V in the front. You might want a little bit bigger in the back or a little bit shorter in the back. I don't know. So I have 20 centimeters in the back, and I'm probably going to do 18 in the front, close it up a bit so my chest area is not too exposed. Okay, so I will finish my side here, the back and forth, and then I'll come back to the front with you. Okay, everyone, so we pretty much close the side. Of course, we are on the wrong side, because we have to sew from the wrong side, and this is the right side. So it looks just perfect. Now we're going to do the same thing to the front, because we're leaving it as a V, unless you want to go up a little bit higher. I have 18 centimeters on my V, so we're going to grab the same thing, the same way, and you're just going to put them together, lined up, until the desired length, and do the same thing as I taught you, back and forth. So basically, again, you would just line them up, come down here, get your needle through, make sure you make that knot, 2 knots actually, and then at the end you can tuck in that loose knot string, leftover string I should say. Okay, so we got the 2 knots on there. So this is no different than what we've been doing. I'm going to grab the inside loop here with inside loop, like we did with the other ones. Or you can use the outside loop if you want to leave like a little edge in the middle. I don't, so just make it different than my other blouses that I've created already. So I'm going to continue to do that, and I wanted to show you, so you see it leaves no lining, no nothing here. Okay, and then I'll come back to you once I'm ready to finalize the bottom and the sleeves. Everyone, so I pretty much finished it, as you can see, front and back. I've tried it on now that everything is closed, and like I said, it really shrinks and pulls up. So I want this to the hip, and as I tried now, it's at the waist. So there's quite a bit of a difference. So I did 300 chain stitch. I would have done at least 320, you know, just to make sure. But I'm going to add in the bottom now the same stitch, so it doesn't look any different. And I'm going to start by the side here on the sides, so we don't see any stitching. So we're going to do the exact same thing in the bottom as we just did here on the stitch. So slip stitch knot. I don't want it to be too dark nor too bright. And we are on the right side of the pattern because we are working on the right side. I'm going to come right in where we have the attachment with front and back. I'm going to do a single and 2 chain. I'm going to come right back in and do the other 2 double crochet. I'm trying to hide my thread at the same time. 1 chain and back in and do the other double crochet. So we have the 4. Now I'm going to skip this group here, and I'm coming in. Just want to make sure that I'm not going to pull right at the edge of the next group. So it's basically, actually not, I'm going to come in, skip one row, and into the next. I'll show you here in a second. So we started at the edge here. Now I don't want it to be too crumpled up, so I might have to skip 2 because I don't want to, you know, on the chain stitch at the beginning we skipped 4, right? Sure that I'm pulling enough thread here. So I'm going to skip this first one. This one, let me try the next row. So it's like 2 rows. But I don't want it to be pulling either. Like I don't want it to be extremely tight on the hips either, right? We want to give it some loosage. So I'm going to see as I go, and you can do the same. You can check yours. So basically we're skipping this one here, and we're going into the second one right at the edge. See if that works out. If not, then I'm only going to have to skip one. But we try what we can. Don't forget, this is being created as I go. So, of course, you know, sometimes it doesn't work the way we want to. So skip one, we're going to put into the second one. So you just continue pretty much your groups the same way. So on the second one, when I say second one, it's right on the edge here. So your 3 double crochets, your 1 chain, and 1 double crochet. So you're skipping this one, coming into this one, second one. Hopefully this will work out, I hope. Okay, so I'm going to continue. If it doesn't work out, then I'll come back and let you know. Okay, everyone, so I did 1 row already, and I've always skipped 1 line and went right in between the second and the third row. Okay, so it doesn't cramp up too much. It's just perfect this way. Okay, so then you would just continue. So I closed in with a slip stitch on my first one, and I did 1 chain here of 4 chain, 4 chain stitch, and created my 3. I'm going to come, excuse me, I'm going to come back in into this one here where we have the space. And just continue creating the same thing as we've been doing. 3 and 1. And into the next space. So everything else becomes very easy. All you have to do is work your groups inside of the spaces. And you can go the length you want. Okay? So if you want it over the hips, then you just continue creating a few more rows. Keep trying it on and see if you have the right size already. And if you do, you can just stop right there. I'm not going to do anything to the sleeves because when I try it on, it's just perfect. It falls just perfect over the shoulder. So I'm leaving it as is. But you can do a single crochet if you want to firm the sleeves a little bit tighter. You can do single crochet one, let's say where you have the chains here. Okay, that 1 chain, you can do 2 inside, 1 in the middle, and then 2 in the next one, 1 in the middle where you have the single, and then 2 on this one, 1 in the middle here, 2 on this one, and then you continue on. So you can do very simple single crochet. I'm not going to do it. So this is pretty much what it is. There's nothing else to be doing tutorial on. It's just continuing the same stitch to the desired length you like. I will have some reveal shots at the end. I will put it on and you can see how it looks like on me. These are the summer European colors this summer. So thank you so much, everybody, again. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other. Be kind to people because I see a lot of unkindness in groups, and more devastating is when it's coming directly from an administration, which is awful. So thank you, everyone, and stay tuned for the next tutorial. I'm creating another doily pineapples. So I'm sure that some of you have seen some of my pineapples creation. This time will be around almost like a tablecloth, let's say, but I'm not going to the length of a tablecloth. I'm just doing just right over the table. So you want to might take a look at that. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's very important. God bless everyone. Thank you so much.